everyone, it's me Neva, and I just wanted to come on here and tell you about my rapture dream that I had about 4 to 5 years ago. It was at a time when I was staying with my parents, and I had was about to go to sleep that night, said a prayer before I went to sleep, and every night I always ask God to give me a dream or anything that He want to say to me during that time, because when you're asleep, it's you just dreaming, and God can always give you something to help you along the way. So during that night, like I said, I said my prayer before I went to bed, and straight maybe about 30 minutes later, I was dreaming about a rapture dream. So first things first, starting out in this dream, I think me, my mom, my sister, and my dad, we had just pulled up to this Wendy's, and this Wendy's was a long line. This is the longest line I ever seen, like, in history at a Wendy's. It was like people were just in line ordering, and I just remember when I was looking across the street, I could see it was just a bunch of chaos going on. There was actually a Walmart across the street. I remember now. Came back to my remembrance. It was a bunch of chaos. It was people just ordering their carts with food, coming out of the store with carts with food. There were people just stealing from each other. There were people fighting each other. There were people just being hatred and then mean to each other. And I couldn't understand what was going on at the time. So I was just telling my mom and dad, I was like, what is going on over there? I was like, it's just so many cars, so many people. I'm like, it's just, they're just angry at each other for no reason. And then I thought that as I was looking across the street, I seen this person, like maybe about 2 or 3 people. They were dressed in white. And I just remember they had eggs, milk, bread, just like all the essentials on a snowy that you will have on a snowy day, if y'all know what I'm talking about here in North Carolina. So they had all the essentials of that nature, and I just remember them walking over to us, coming towards our path, and I just remember them giving this food to us, and I was like, okay, at the time, I wasn't thinking like something's going on. At the time, I was just thinking that they're just being generous. They're giving us something. Maybe they were thinking I was thinking maybe they're saying, oh, they've just been waiting in this long line. They need something to eat, so we're just going to give them what we have to give them. And I just seen them actually giving it to multiple people, not just us. People, I guess, that were at the time I didn't know, but when I woke up from my dream, it really made sense. They were giving it to people that really loved the Lord, people that were really spiritually, and you get it, in that nature. I can't find the word that I wanted, but yes, they were giving it to people because God will take care of His own. I always hear those words all the time. God takes care of His own. And that's what God was doing. So they were basically like angels. And I just remember we were still sitting in this long line. And I just remember telling my sister, I was like, there's a church right over here. I'm curious to kind of see, what's inside. It was open. So I was like, let's just go inside and see what's in this church. So after we go inside and see what's in here, it was a nice church, very big. It had a long walkway when we came in, and it had these gorgeous big windows. And I just remember looking out of these windows up at the sky. And as I looked at the sky, it had the big words, Jesus. I mean, it was big and bold, Jesus. And I remember it being lit up like a Christmas tree. Like, these were so bright. It was even brighter than a Christmas tree. It was lit up, the words Jesus. And I was telling my sister, I'm like, come on over here, you got to see this. And I thought that I'm over here daydreaming about it. As y'all can see, I'm daydreaming about it. And I was just looking up at it, and she was like, wow, that's so big. And I was like, yes, it's so big, and it says the words Jesus. And so that was my first sign. And about a couple of minutes later, not too long after we looked at it, I thought that the words just started coming down basically on the earth. And I was telling Monique, I said, we got to get out of here. And I think after all of them fell down, but they wasn't falling down to hurt anyone. They was just kind of falling down to give a warning. And that's what I remember. And I was telling her, I was like, we got to get out of here. I feel like God's trying to tell us something. We got to go. And as the words fell, I remember everything completely went pitch dark. And I was like, I don't know how we're going to find our way back to mom and dad. I was just, Lord, all I heard was people still fighting, still being angry with each other, still just hoarding over food. You can hear that they were just trying to take from each other. And I was like, I don't know how we're going to get back, but I was like, I know God will keep us safe when we get back to get us back to our parents where we need to go. So I just remember it wasn't even hard for us to get back to where we needed to be, because it was like a light shining to where we needed to go back to. And then as soon as we got back to my mom and dad, we were telling them, I was like, we gotta go. I was like, there's big words in the sky that said Jesus. They fell down. It's completely pitch dark. And so cut on the car immediately. And the next thing I know, we were going down the road. I don't know if we were on vacation, what we were doing during this time, but I don't know if they were like apartments or just like a vacation home. But we went back to the place that we were staying. And I remember just looking across the way, and I heard gunshots. So immediately I looked to where the gunshots are coming from. And I just remember these two men across, it was like, say you have like an apartment complex, there's like one across the street from each other. That's how it was. And they were just shooting at each other back and forth. And I thought that one man hit the other man, and he fell down to his death. And I was like telling my mom and dad, and we all telling each other, we got to get somewhere and hide. We got to get somewhere safe. And then after that, I just remember waking up from that dream. So I didn't really get to finish it like I needed to. I think I had to get up for work or something, but I wanted to finish it, but I couldn't. But basically what that dream was telling me is that the end times are near. And as I see what's going on in the world today, there is just so much hatred toward people and each other, which it shouldn't be that way. There is so much people stealing from each other. People don't want to share, and that's the reality of it. People don't want to share, and when there's just so much hatred, God is not pleased. So in that moment, I think God was just angry, and he was just ready